Okay, welcome guys. We're going to start a new series this week. Okay, this is called Lockdown Loyalty. And basically what this is about is it's about different stories in the Bible where for one reason or another God has locked people down. So just like you've been locked down and we've been locked down over the last couple of months, God locked people down in the Bible, sometimes for longer than a couple of months, okay? But people in the Bible that we hear about, or we're going to be hearing about over these next few weeks, trusted in God, okay? So when God said, I'm going to lock you down, I'm going to do these things, trust in me, draw strength from me, that's what people did in the Bible. So what we can learn about this lockdown that's happened to us is, you know what, if we look back in the Bible, loads of different things have happened that were just as bad as the lockdown that we've just had. And in fact, there was even worse than what the lockdown we've just had was. Imagine that. Okay, but really what happened was, through the people that we can read about in the Bible, God shows us that he's thinking about us all the time, that he cares about us, and more importantly, and this is the big deal, he really, really loves us, okay? And he wants us to be able to say thank you to him and to glorify him. That means, we're thankful to God because he's provided us safety, he's kept us well, he's put roofs over our heads, well, most of us hopefully, he's given us food to eat. So everything that we have, our homes, our mums and dads, our clothes, our trainers, our PlayStations or Nintendos or whatever it is, we're thankful to God for all those things because ultimately he made them. Now you might say, well, God doesn't make a PlayStation. Well, do you know what? The stuff that makes a PlayStation comes from what God created, okay? So there was this bloke once and he said, God, I can make a PlayStation. And God said, go on then. So this bloke, he gathered a load of stuff together and God said, hang on a minute, get your own stuff. So this story is about lockdown loyalty. It's about people in the Bible who were locked down but remained faithful to God. I hope you enjoy it. A while back I went to the west coast of Africa to a place called the Gambia, and in the hotel there was a DJ who played by the pool, and his catchphrase, which he repeated all the time, was "Check it out." So check this one out. Okay, a while ago, a few years before I was born and a little bit even further than when Philip was born, there was a bloke called Noah. In fact, it were even before Jesus was born, so we're going back a few years. A bloke called Noah, and he lived in a time when there was a lot of bad people around. In fact, everybody was bad apart from Noah, and he used to pray to God and say, please God, deliver me from these people. And God saw that he was a good man, God saw, listened to his prayers and things like that. And he said to Noah, listen Noah, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make you, or I'm going to tell you how to build what we call an ark. So an ark is like a boat, only it's like a really long boat, about 2 football pitches long and about half a football pitch wide. So it's a massive boat. And he said, what we're going to do, Noah, we're going to fill it with all the animals in the earth, and I want you and your missus and your 3 lads and their missuses all to get on the boat along with all the animals on the earth in 2s on the boat. And what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to make a flood come. So Noah starts building this boat, takes him a long time, and everybody's laughing at him yeah, Noah, look what you're doing, it don't even rain, you're an idiot. So Noah's like, it's whatever, I'm just doing what God tells me to. Okay, so eventually all the animals have been brought to Noah. He gathers them in by God, he gathers them in the ark, and God shuts the door of the ark behind Noah, his sons, his wife and his sons' wives and all these animals, and then it starts raining. Okay, so this isn't like any, you know that rain that you get when sometimes it's a proper deluge and it comes down like my mum used to call it, like comes down like stair rods. Okay, so it's coming down like stair rods, and it rains like that for 40 days and 40 nights. Okay, so everything in the whole wide world gets flooded, and it keeps on, right, the water, even after it's rained for 40 days and 40 nights, the water keeps on rising for another 120 days. Imagine that. So Noah is locked down in the ark for 160 days, if my maths is right. Probably some of you are better at maths than me, but basically it's like a long time. Okay, so eventually God sends a wind across the earth and the water starts to recede. So Noah sends a raven out of the ark to see what happens, whether or not it comes back. Don't come back. So a little bit later on, he sends a dove out of the ark, and the dove comes back. So he sends it back again a week later, and it comes back with an olive branch in its mouth. Okay, and that's a sign that the waters are starting to recede even further. He's managed to pluck an olive branch. So a week later he sends the dove out again, and dove disappears. It's obviously found somewhere to live. Okay, so God has finally, let this water recede and drain away, and Noah gets down on his hands and knees and prays to God. The ark lands on the top of a mountain called Mount Ararat. Okay, it's somewhere in Turkey. I think you can probably go and visit it. Not at the moment, obviously, but you can go and see this mountain where Noah's Ark landed, and eventually the water's drained away completely. So God said, you can go out now, let all the animals out, start life again with your wife and your kids and their families, and repopulate the world because everything's been wiped out. Now God says, I'm really sorry that happened, and I'm going to make what he called a covenant, a promise if you like, with you, that I won't let that happen again. And what he did was, and this is the important bit, is he put a rainbow in the sky. Now nobody had ever seen one of these before, they didn't exist before. God put a rainbow in the sky, and he said, the reason I'm putting a rainbow there is because it's like a sign that I'm never going to flood the earth again, never going to do that again. Noah prayed to God, said thank you God, and they all managed to kind of live their lives on the land that they were repopulating. They managed to keep the human race going through God having mercy on Noah because he was a good man. Okay, and of course the rainbow that we've all been seeing whilst the lockdown has been going on. If you're listening to this in the future, you'll remember that time, or you'll have heard about it from your mums and dads or your brothers and sisters. The lockdown was going on, and everybody put a rainbow in the window because it was a symbol that eventually God does care about us, he does love us, and he promises things to us. We're not going to give up hope. Okay, and Jesus gives us that hope. Through him we live, and we can be thankful to God that we don't end up like the people in Noah's day before Noah got in the ark, where they all loved themselves and they hated everybody else, and it was a horrible time. Okay, so what we need to do is love other people.